Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sports Talk for You. My co-host here, Adam Parker, is with me today. We are going to get to MLB baseball as it looks like there most likely will be a strike. Thank you, 1994, all over again, although COVID kind of started all this and ruined everything. But let's just get to, God, I don't know if you want to call them greedy players or in your mind if you would do the same thing, but in my mind, just, take a small pay cut and play. What happened to playing for the love of the game? I mean, does that even exist anymore, playing for the love of the game, or is it all about money?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think the love of the game has kind of been trumped over by money. But at the same time, especially with this circumstance, everybody quote unquote dying from this virus, I see why the players are like, well, why should I risk my life, to take a pay cut instead of getting my full money? But then again, you also have to look at it as, well, you haven't played for at least what are we in?
9 months?
They start in
8
April.
months?
Yeah, but they start in April, so you have April, May. So basically
2.5 months.
off of no baseball, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, can't you guys meet somewhat in the middle? Because I know like people in the United States have taken pay cuts, and heck, myself took a pay cut as
Yeah.
well as, you know. So it's like the owners want 50%, only to pay him 50%, and the players are like, no, I want my 100, and you got the most greedy of agents in that Boris agent,
Yeah.
you know don't don't uh don't let the owners off the hook. It's like, well, it's called a negotiation.
Well,
Can't
they're
you
even
guys?
making the umpires take like a 50% pay cut or 25%. But I don't know if the umpires were going to go on strike or not. I can't remember how that went, but I mean, it's just you're going to have to take a pay cut because even if they go on strike, they're going to screw themselves over just like they did in 94. All that money lost, you know. My thing
Right.
is, why can't we put stadiums at 50% capacity? Because you think most stadiums probably hold 25, 35,000. Some are 40,000 plus. You could put 20,000 people in there, 15,000 people, and spread them out. Are they going to spread out? Yeah, probably not. They're all going to sit together.
Yeah, the only stadium you don't really have to worry about is the Tampa Bay Rays,
Or Miami Marlins.
or
Don't
the
forget the
Miami
Marlins.
Marlins.
Don't forget the San Diego Padres.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are a few stadiums who don't need to change anything,
Yeah.
But no, it's just really interesting, and especially the umpire's position, because if if they don't take a quote unquote 50% cut, then they're just going to be replaced by robots
Well,
like
I can name
in
one
the
umpire.
MLB.
I can name one umpire right now that doesn't want to take a pay cut. He's got a big
Who's
old
that?
mustache and he's fat. Joe
Who is
West.
it?
Joe
Joe
West.
West. Yeah.
You know he is not going to take a
Yep.
pay cut.
Yeah.
And neither is Aaron Baker,
No,
another hard-nosed umpire. He's not going to take no pay cut.
that's right.
He's got
But
4
yeah,
kids.
definitely not Joe West.
No, Joe West. No, hell no.
So it'll be interesting. I hope they bring baseball back for this season. I don't care if it's a half a season or what, but I want it to start on July 4th, and I just want it to go through October. The NBA in '99, I believe it was, they had their lockout, but came back for half a season, and my favorite team, the San Antonio Spurs, won it that
Well,
year.
yeah, that, and it's like the NBA is talking about starting back up in what, August 1st, they said, June 31st. I
Hmm.
mean, they're not going to have their guys take pay cuts. They're just going to go postseason. But like the NHL is going to, what did I hear, a 24 game postseason they're talking about, 2014 postseason.
Yeah, I mean it's all interesting, and I just can't. I mean, to have sports come back but not baseball, I mean that's really going to be screwing themselves
Especially summer. I mean, that's
royally.
what fans look forward to in the summer is baseball. Yet you're not going to bring back
Exactly,
the popular sport in the summertime. I mean, come
exactly.
September, October, yeah, I can understand because football is going to overrule baseball. But I mean, you still have
Mhm.
June, July, August. Fans
Yeah,
want baseball. They don't want to sit here and watch reruns of the 1986 World Series between the Mets and the Red Sox and cheating Roger Clemens pitching on the mound. I mean, come on.
yeah, and it's so tough watching reruns too. Especially during COVID. I couldn't even watch Arizona winning their '97 game, the championship that
I mean,
year,
it's
when it
fun to
was
watch because especially if you're watching your team, you know they're going to win, you know what's going to happen. But then again, it's boring because
right.
you're like, well, this is going to happen. I already know it's coming. So
Exactly. Exactly.
it's just
So,
these sports reruns are getting boring. And now that the Last Dance is done, there's not really
mhm,
anything sports related to watch besides cornhole championships.
right. Yep. Nope. And it'll be interesting, especially the NFL this season. And if do you think that there'll be fans in the stands or not?
No, they won't have fans in the stands.
Okay, so then would you agree with, was it Odell Beckham who said this? I forgot who said it, but they're like, if there are no fans in the stands, then just wire up the players.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's see what the players say on the field. Yeah, you might get a lot of bleep this, bleep that, but I mean,
Right.
it's like baseball, mic up the players when they're at the plate. I mean, if you're not going to have any
Yeah.
fans, you're going to have to make it fun. It's just going to be
Right.
no
Exactly.
fans, no fan sound. Or like Fox is,
Ex-
like Joe Buck said, Fox is looking to add the crowd noise in there. How they're going to do that, I have no idea. Is it going to feel like? Is it going to feel real? Hell no, it's not going to feel real. It's just
oh,
going to be fake. I mean, how the play? It's like, are the home teams going to put a crowd sound system on their, video board or how? I don't know. This is
I don't
just
know. They could take notes from the movie Major League and watch the
yes.
announcer do,
Hey,
hey,
some Bob Uecker
hey.
going on here. But yeah,
So it'll
I mean,
be interesting.
you know, let's get to our buddy Armand Ely. Of course, he couldn't be with us tonight because of a baseball game for his son. Me and him, you were in that conversation, had the greatest argument that I would have just loved to have on this show, but he couldn't be with us because he talked about how he wouldn't take a, or he would take a, no, he said he wouldn't take a pay cut. He said he wouldn't take a pay
Mhm.
cut. He feels with the players. Here's my thing. If I had a contract at $15 million, hell yes, I'm going to love that contract. But if I have to
Mhm.
cut my contract down to 7 or 8 million for that year, so what? What are you going to do with $15 million? Go buy
The
15 trucks, go buy 10 houses. It's like, love the game. Don't you play this
yeah.
game because you love it, or you just play it because you're good at it? I mean,
You
I don't get
know,
this.
also too, I kind of wonder. I mean, this is me if I was the MLB commissioner, but I would tell the players, let's take a pay cut of 25%. I won't say 50, even though I know they're asking for 50, and I think that's just like kind of way too much. In my book. But what I do is just tell them, let's take a little bit of a pay cut, and then half of your pay cut, okay, of all the players' sum, we'll put it towards COVID-19, and in some sort of vaccine for it or something, to help other people out,
Well, because if you think
But
about it, I mean, these guys get paid through what? Concession stands, gift
mhm,
stores, ticket
yeah,
prices. Fans
yeah,
are what give these guys their money.
right. And you could even take the quote unquote pay cut money, and give it to actually the people who are supposed to do the concession stands.
Exactly. Or give it to your minor
You
league
know,
players. Help your minor
Yeah.
league players out. If you want your future farm system and those future good
Mhm.
players to come up, take the pay cut and give that money to the minor leaguer. Like the Royals, they kept these minor leaguers. They're paying these minor leaguers because Dayton Moore, so help me God, yes, I don't think he's a very good GM. I'm fed up with him as a Royals fan, but he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
He's saving these guys' lives because these guys are only making $1,500 a month in the minor leagues,
Right.
maybe 2 to 3 thousand at most. But to cut over 1,000 minor leaguers, that's just I don't know. It's heartbreaking for baseball.
Yeah. No, I see your point in that. But honestly, this country, I mean, you could say the world as well, but especially this country needs baseball back. They need something to cheer for, because with
Yes.
the COVID-19 and the uh, the cop killing,
Yes. It's ridiculous.
yeah, it's just we need something to cheer about, you know, and baseball, in my opinion, cannot be the sport to just sit on the sidelines this year,
Nope.
especially when you're seeing every other sport, NBA, hockey, you name it, even NASCAR came back,
And
to
look how
not
big,
have
look how
baseball.
many views NASCAR got. I mean, that got a lot of views.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
it did. I mean,
I even watched. I even watched
you
part of it.
watched,
I'm not a NASCAR fan.
yeah, see, and I didn't watch any of it. I know I'm boring, but anyway, but it was great to see it come back. I mean,
Yeah.
I just I just feel like people need something to root for again,
Well,
and
hopefully, maybe
baseball
if,
would be the one.
if baseball's not back and basketball comes back July 31st. Hell, I'll probably
Mhm.
sit down and watch it. I don't like the NBA, but it's sports. I'll watch
Yeah.
Fred Van Fleet. I'll watch Landry Shamet, my former Shockers. Give me
Mhm.
something to watch. I'm tired of watching reruns, like I said earlier in the show. But
Right. Yeah, and the NBA, that one's interesting too because owners want 30 teams back, but I guess there's a proposal to only have 22
yeah,
teams come back, which I kind of see. I mean, if you're going to really shorten the season to just where it goes straight into the playoffs, you don't need all 30 teams in, you know? So it'll be interesting to see. But the ball is in Adam Silver's court, the commissioner for the NBA. So we'll see what happens. But, I'll probably tune into a few games when it comes back on if baseball's not um, going to be played. So, but I just hope something comes back, baseball or the NBA, because this country needs something to cheer about.
yeah. Now, one thing I do want to get to, because God help me, it has bugged me for the last 7 days, ever since I watched the Skip and Shannon show, when they were talking about the most clutch quarterback, Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes. And Skip Bayless could not give Patrick Mahomes any freaking credit. He would always put the negatives out there. Or Patrick Mahomes' 25-yard scramble against Tennessee Titans when he scored that touchdown. Skip Bayless was talking about how the Tennessee players just looked lost or like they were afraid to tackle Mahomes because they were afraid to get a flag. How about the fact that Mahomes just scrambled, made the play, made the moves, juked the guys, and got in the touchdown? If that was Deshaun Watson, oh my God, he would be all over that, saying that Deshaun Watson has the right speed. He made the moves. He did all this. And then he wants to go back and talk about how Tom Brady didn't have the weapons this year a lot. The year he points out all the positives for Tom Brady, all the negatives for Patrick Mahomes. He hates Patrick Mahomes because he's a Dak Prescott fan, and he knows that Dak Prescott will never become a Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this. I believe Patrick Mahomes, and this is coming from a Cowboy and a Bronco fan, but Patrick Mahomes is on pace to be the greatest quarterback to ever play in the NFL. To almost make the Super Bowl his first two seasons as the starter. We had an AFC championship game and then the Super Bowl and win. I mean, let's get real. No other person, I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think any other person in 2 straight seasons of their first 2 seasons has had the success that he's had.
Yes.
And to put anybody else in front of him right now is absolutely ridiculous. Some say Lamar Jackson, but guess what? Patrick Mahomes has beaten Lamar Jackson. Isn't he like 0-2 against them?
Yeah. But then
As
again, you got
far
to
as
realize those 2 games are at home. This year they
oh,
go to Baltimore. That could be a completely different story. But as a Chiefs fan,
mhm,
I'll take Mahomes even on the road.
correct. I mean, even if it was played at home, I'd still bet on Mahomes. The guy is a very, very clutch guy, and he's on a very good team. People could say, well, it's because of his weapons. Well, guess what? Alex Smith
Tyreek
didn't
Hill was
have.
hurt. Tyreek Hill was
Right.
hurt last year for 4 weeks,
Mhm.
3 to 4
Right. And
weeks. And Sammy Watkins, I think, got hurt during one of the games too, and he still found a way.
right. But Alex Smith had the same exact weapons and couldn't do what Patrick Mahomes did.
Exactly.
I mean, he just couldn't. And then there's Dak Prescott, the Mr. Number One QBR, which I'm sorry that stat is out of the window, because when you have the number one QBR and you can't even make the playoffs, let alone the Pro Bowl,
Yes.
sorry, you know, come back at me with something else. And
Because I think if Deshaun Watson had an offensive line, it would be the Chiefs and Houston in the AFC Championship the next 4 or 5
mhm.
years. But he just
Yeah, if
he gets beat up. He does not have the offensive line to get there.
right. And you know what? I wish Jerry Jones would go to Bill O'Brien and be like, can we do a QB swap? Because I
Yeah.
honestly believe it would be the Cowboys owning at least the Super Bowl slot for the next 3 to 5 years. I mean, I'm just saying,
Well,
because the
and I believe that. I mean, I'm not going to say McCarthy's going to turn Prescott into a Super Bowl quarterback, but McCarthy's won a Super Bowl with Aaron
mhm.
Rodgers, and in my opinion, Cowboys need a quarterback if they're going to go to the Super Bowl because McCarthy's a good coach, but I cannot see any coach, maybe Belichick, turning him into a quarterback, but I don't
Mhm.
know. Prescott's just got to work on his deep accuracy ball. Oh, but wait, he has the number one percentage in deep accuracy.
Yeah,
How that I don't
which
know, but
yeah, well, he throws it so seldom compared to everybody else.
yeah.
I mean, and it's so funny because you know what? Teams stack the box to try to stop Zeke and make Dak win games. And we all saw what happened last year when all that happened. 8-8, no playoff berth,
Well,
and
when Ezekiel Elliott had under 100 yards rushing, the Cowboys lost.
mhm,
When he had
mhm.
under 20 touches a game, the Cowboys lost.
Yeah, and you
Ezekiel
also
Elliott,
have to say when he did not average 85 yards or more, Cowboys lost.
yes.
It's just that's how it went.
The thing is with
You
the
know?
Chiefs, Mahomes can throw for 250 yards, 225 yards, and they can still win because
Yeah.
Damian Williams is in the backfield. He's not the greatest power back, but the guy gets the job done, and everybody saw that in the Super Bowl with that explosive run in the game. I mean,
Right.
give the ball to Elliott for crying out loud. That's the problem. Jason
Exactly.
Garrett didn't do that because there was a couple games last year. I think Elliott had 10 touches and probably close to 60 yards in the first half. And then what does Garrett come out and do in the second half? Oh, let's give the ball to Elliott 4 times in the second half and put the
Hmm.
ball in Prescott's hands. That's why he's not a good head coach. He doesn't think things through.
No, and I think he's kind of a player's coach. And what I mean by that is, oh, your contract's up or you need an extension or something, you need the money, well, we'll rely on you. It's interesting how like the first year with Dak and Zeke, it was both of them, kind of taking turns, and that was Dak's best season. And ironically, it was with Tony Romo as the quote unquote backup, telling him what to look for and stuff. And then as soon as he left, then his INTs started to double and triple. Anyway, but the point is Zeke held out, and he got his money, and then it's like, well, we need Dak to get his, so we'll rely solely on him. Because it's
here's
just
my thing
mind-boggling.
here's my thing about that. They signed Andy Dalton for a reason, not just because they want him as a backup, because they know that if Prescott doesn't make this contract, they're not going to be in a big serious issue at quarterback because they already have a good backup. I don't think Jerry Jones is worried about it at all.
I don't think he is either, and I wouldn't be paying him that insane amount of money. I just wouldn't. And people could say, well, down the road, the QB market's going to go skyrocket. Well, sure, it might, but you're not going to want to pay a quarterback who's just average, because if you were to pay Dak and he's just been average, you're stuck with him for 4 or 5 more years. And believe me, no other team is going to want an average quarterback, so you can't really trade him. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
The sad part is, I think the guy who sees ghost has more potential than Dak Prescott. And we all know who that guy is because he saw ghost that night against the Patriots.
Yeah, and the ironic thing is he actually beat the Cowboys that year.
If nobody knows what we're talking about Sam Darnold, who just destroyed the Cowboys, in which Prescott got all of his yards in garbage time.
Exactly.
So.
And it just cracks me up because I won't name this person who's on YouTube, but it's funny tweeting back and forth with him sometimes. But he's like, well, Dak beat Russell Wilson. So if he beat Russell Wilson, who then beat like Deshaun Watson and like some other top name, then, that means Dak should be the number 1 QB. No, it's the dumbest theory of all, because it's like, well, all right, last year, since he didn't make the playoffs, let's compare him to some of the teams who didn't make the playoffs.
Well, let's not forget Josh Allen, who absolutely just destroyed the Cowboys and Prescott on Thanksgiving Day. An embarrassing performance. He ran the ball against them. He passed it all. Josh Allen, to me, he's going to be a stud too.
He's got potential, that's for sure. But you're also forgetting that Dak lost to Mitchell Trubisky last year.
Yes, that too.
So if Dak is the number 1 quarterback in the league, what does that make Mitchell Trubisky?
who is now battling for a position with Nick Foles, who's 85 years old. But
which is interesting all in itself. But that's another topic for another day. But it's just I can't wait for there to be a resolution with the Dak thing, because I'm tired of seeing it every day, and I'm just tired of the stupidity of it all, And
I just want to tell fans out there that if you're watching this and you're watching this all the way through, please watch us, because the fact that people will watch Skip Bayless just be some smart-ass guy who makes smart-ass comments, but you won't watch our show when we state facts, and we're not sitting here arguing with Shannon Sharp about Patrick Mahomes isn't a clutch quarterback. Skip Bayless is stupid. He's just stupid. I'm not afraid to say it. I don't care if people don't agree with me, but the guy is he's stupid, plain and simple. He makes ignorant tweets that just don't even make sense, saying Dak Prescott's the greatest quarterback in the – no. He's just – no. Please listen to our show more. Watch our show.
Yeah, he's just average. And you know what? I challenge people. You know what? You go look at our 7th-round quarterback, DiNucci, okay, in his little tryout, and compare it to Dak Prescott's tryout for the NFL. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Dak underthrows long balls. It's either high, behind the receiver, DiNucci was fluid in long passes, out passes, in pass. And it's not because I want to bash Dak all the time. It's just he's up for a contract, and it's like, what have you done for me now?
Let's
And
not
it's
forget the game last year where he had Tony Pollard open on the flat at the 5-yard line, wide open for a touchdown, makes Tony Pollard turn all the way around and underthrows him.
mhm.
I'm
Yeah, that
like,
was against the Colts.
yes, it's like, my gosh, I mean, hit your wide open receiver for crying out loud.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I'm just, you know what, if we get Dak for 4 or 5 more years, so be it. I hope he succeeds, but I'm not holding my breath because he fell into a situation that any rookie would dream of. Okay, the best offensive line with the best running back and some wide receiver weapons. Okay, you look at Baker Mayfield, other than what, one or two tops offensive linemen go to the Pro Bowl, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go down the list of every team, and it to me, Dak is more of I need my weapons than him making weapons himself. Um, so we'll see what happens. Maybe he can just keep working at it, and maybe it'll click. But I'm not holding my breath. So we'll see
Yep.
what happens.
All right, fans, if you have watched this video all the way through, I want you to leave your comments about the MLB and what you guys think the situation is going to turn out to be. And also leave a comment, Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson, who's the most clutch quarterback there. And if you hate Skip Bayless, write it on there, exclamation marks. So go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. We will have more shows in the future. Next time we'll hopefully probably get into more, I don't know, maybe NBA, NHL talk once we get more news. Our next show will be next week, so stay tuned for that, and have a good day.
Thanks for watching.